The overturning of Roe v. Wade happened a few weeks ago, and this was an action that the Supreme Court and the 6 justices provided. The overturning of Roe v. Wade basically meant that the 50 states of America had the right to ban abortions at all times and illegalize abortion. This gave the Supreme Court an idea to overturn Obergefell, which is an action to protect same-sex marriage, and they're actually planning to overturn Obergefell. This brings us to the topic, which is, will the United States pass legislation to protect same-sex couple marriage due to the recent Supreme Court ruling to privacy? And I believe that yes, the United States will pass legislation, and there are 3 reasons why I believe that the United States federal government will pass legislation. Number 1, the United States Democrats and the states of the United States are becoming more democratic, and they're allowing same-sex marriage and supporting same-sex marriage. Number 2, the majority of the United States, the population, support same-sex marriage. And last but not least, the House Majority Leader actually supports same-sex marriage, along with the former and current presidents, Obama and Joe Biden. Moving to our first argument, or our first claim, pewtrusts.org shows that the Utah State Senator, Derek Kitchen, actually had filed a lawsuit against Utah to protect same-sex marriage. He actually won that lawsuit, meaning that Utah has full support on same-sex marriage. Because of this action, many states are actually repealing the ban, like, of course, Utah, Nevada, Massachusetts, Washington, and many more states. This will probably inspire many states in the United States to do what Derek Kitchen did, and be more open and understanding to those that are in same-sex marriages and those same-sex couples. Moving on to and this is very important because the state's decision is actually very important, and the overturning of Obergefell, which is like the right to have same-sex marriage, is fully on the states to decide, like Roe v. Wade. The overturning of it will just give the 50 states the ability to ban same-sex marriage, and since most of the states are turning democratic, it is unlikely to happen. Moving on to our second claim or argument, which is that the majority of the United States actually supports same-sex marriage. There's evidence from website brennancenter.org that shows that there is a big increase in the span from 2019 to 2022. And in 2019, there was actually only 54% of the U.S. population that supported same-sex marriage. But now, as of today, in 2022, there is 68% that supports same-sex marriage. This is a 14% increase, and it might not seem like a lot, but it is a lot considering it is only 3 years, which is not a lot. 7 years ago, there was also the Obergefell, which is to have which protects same-sex marriages, and this was a big victory, and many Americans celebrated and that believed that this was a right thing to do. And 7 years ago is not a lot considering the big history that the United States have. So if it's only 7 years ago, which is not long, I feel like the United States government will do the same as of 2022. Moving on to our last argument, which is that the House Majority Leader actually supports same-sex marriage, which is House Majority Leader Hoyer believes that same-sex marriage should be legalized because it's their hearts and it's their own choice, and same-sex marriage should not be treated unequal just because they like someone of the same gender, or even interracial couples are facing difficulties. And I feel like everyone should just love each other no matter what, like the color of their skin or their sexual orientation or even their gender. And also former president, which is President Barack Obama, is very supporting of same-sex marriage, and actually had a quote saying that Americans should just follow their hearts and do whatever they want, and not to be scared of something because it's illegal or something. And current President Joe Biden also believes that same-sex marriage should be legalized, and he's actually very supporting of the LGBTQ and the Roe v. Wade and women having abortions, which is kind of related to the topic. All three of these reasons are why I believe that the United States federal government will overturn or will support and pass legislation to pass legislation to protect same-sex marriage, due to recent Supreme Court ruling on privacy. And this is also regarding back to our Roe v. Wade topic. And since Roe v. Wade was such an important thing for Americans, especially women, and how much they protested to change it, and I feel like that will also be the same for same-sex marriage. Protests are very important because it can also affect many Supreme Courts and their opinions, and this is very important because overfall is a very important topic to talk about, and same-sex marriage should be equal to everyone else in the United States, and the marriages and interracial couples. That is very important also, and those are the reasons why, and the three reasons why I believe that the United States federal government will pass legislation to protect same-sex marriage and their right to have same-sex marriage, due to recent Supreme Court ruling on this privacy. And the three reasons why I believe they will pass it is because, number one, the Democrats and states are being more Democrat to support this. Number two, most of the United States believe that they should most of the United States support same-sex marriage, and number three, House Majority Leader supports same-sex marriage.